How we speak to our children becomes how they speak to themselves and to others. Hello, once again. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever it is you're joining us from. This is Amina Isma'il. And yes, it is day 7 of our 10-day series. Yes, so what we did on these 10 days was to open your eyes to the problems you make, to the mistakes you're making and why you're having the problems you're having with your children as regards discipline. Oh, but I'm trying my best. Oh, Coach Amina, but I'm doing this. Oh, Coach Amina, see all I do for them. See all I do. I try. I send them to Bible school. I send them to Sunday school. We do morning devotion. We go to, they constantly at Islamia. They have malams that even come to the house to teach them. Why should my star child keep struggling? What is the problem? Can you help me? And so gradually we started from, looking at parenting from how you were raised, because we can't get somewhere if we do not know where it is we're coming from. We can't move forward if we do not understand what our backgrounds, the contributions our backgrounds have made to what it is that we are doing today. We went ahead to start to look at, connection or control. What are we actually doing? So this whole 10-day series is just to x-ray what it is that you do in your home. I can't come to your home for you, but you have to be honest with yourself. Oh yes, I'm dealing with a lot of issues where I'm seeing how parents are in denial. They just want to dump all of the blame on the children. And it's easy to do so, but will you get results? Most times is when there's a problem, when it's really, really bad. That's when parents are ready to now, okay, I'm ready to do anything. I'm ready to come down from that high horse that I am in. But by then, sometimes it's almost too late. There are some damages you can never recover from. Trust me, I'm seeing it on this job that I'm doing. There are some things you shouldn't allow your children get to that point before you say, okay, let me start to take responsibility. And today, I'm just asking you, when it is that you say, oh, I want to raise respectful children. I want to raise children who, regard others, children who are doing well, children who are respectful, children who will contribute positively to the society. But then again, I ask you, is that what you're doing with them? Are you modeling that to them? Because you say we want that. Yes, you're teaching them respect through yelling, through screaming, through criticizing, through withdrawal of this thing of withdrawal of our of benefits, through bribing. Is that how best to teach them respect? Is that how best to teach them, character building and good behavior? So we're saying we're teaching them respect. Yet we're teaching them through being disrespectful to them. We're teaching them kindness. Yet you're being harsh on them. We say we're teaching them emotional regulation. Yet we ourselves were dysregulated emotionally. We yell and we scream at every single, at the drop of a hat. Something falls, something breaks, we're yelling, we're screaming. So how can we teach them all of these good things that we say we want to teach them while we're doing the direct opposite? Can you see? You say you want your children to learn respect, yet you're speaking to them anyhow. You're speaking with so much dishonor and disrespect to them. After all, they are my children. See, sometimes I'm like, if God wants to judge us as parents, it won't be easy. Because because nobody holds us to account. It's a very tricky place to be in. Nobody is holding us to account. At least if you do something, your boss will drag you. If you sometimes even with marriage, your wife will drag you, your husband will drag you. But as children, they literally know nothing. There's no one to drag you. But trust me, time tells. And time will always tell when it comes to parenting and how we're parented. So this is my call to you. I may not necessarily be saying what it is that you want to hear, but trust me, it's better you pay the price now. It's better you take responsibility now and you start to do what it is that you want to do, you're meant to do, than to continue to do what it is that just comes to you naturally. After all, nobody will hold you accountable. After all, who are the children are not there to hold you to account. Who are they? Didn't I give birth to you? And then we come with all of the manipulative statements that we use. Can't see that I am your mother. Don't you know I carried you in my tummy for 9 months? And all of those things that we use. How is it that we're teaching them when we're being disrespectful to them? How is it that we're teaching them to be kind, yet we're using harshness to do it? So you can imagine, you heard that your son hit his younger sister, and then you went there and you hit him back again, and you say, don't you know that a real man doesn't hit? Oh, and then he gets confused. Oh, so that means hitting is wrong, except my mother hits me. Can you see? And then he can go ahead and allow others to hit him and continue hitting others because you haven't taught him really why hitting is wrong. You taught him that hitting is wrong by hitting him. Can you see where there's a disconnect? There's a dissonance there. So parents are struggling. See, modern day parents, I won't lie, we're struggling with a lot. We're struggling with peer pressure that our children are facing. We're struggling with screens. There's constant battle. Sorry, excuse me. We're struggling with having sugar in almost everything that our children are taking, high sugar levels. And so I ask us that I know and I feel for us. There's so much we're struggling with. And I hope you can feel for your children too. Because even for them, there's so much they are struggling with. So many things that we didn't have to deal with in our age. So many things. It was just okay. If it wasn't okay, they say, oh, stay off the streets. Don't do drugs. Not even drugs. Then we didn't even have drugs this rampant. Don't be a kidnapper. Don't get pregnant. And for a woman, it was like, okay, don't get pregnant. Don't get involved with the man that you're not married to. For the men is, don't do anything that will put you behind bars. And that was the basics. And that was all we had to deal with. But these children are dealing with so much. Are you talking, are you talking pornography? Are you talking masturbation? Are you talking screen addiction that is leading to a whole lot of, issues we're having now with ADHD? We're having issues with autism. While some are real genetically originated. That is the origin is from genetics. A whole lot is because of the screens we're exposed to. It's because of the damage our children are exposed to, even from a very young age. And that's why for everyone who is dealing with a child with autism or cerebral palsy, on any other congenital disease, special needs, the first thing I tell you is that please, can you get your child off of the screen? Can you get your child for a reasonable extent? Your child should not be on the screen. For children, neurotypical children, we're also saying that screen, we can see research has shown time and time again the damage screens are doing to them. Not to talk of when we have special needs, a child with special needs, you have no business with screen. Whatever it is that is going to help your child, all of the cocoa melon that you claim is teaching your child ABC and 1 2 3, that child will learn it better if the child is relating with a human being, if there's a relationship, there's a communication and there's a feedback from that human being. But for the screen, there is no feedback. The child just goes on and on and on. And the child ends up cramming. And we are there saying, yay, Coco Menon taught my child how to, learn A to Z. No, that's not what the brain is designed for. This brain is designed for communication and feedback. But is that what all our TV games and all the adrenaline and the dopamine we get from screens, our children get from interacting with screens non-stop? I interact with children and they say weekends, there's nothing to do now. They don't have lessons, except days they have Islamia. Okay, they go for Islamia and they come back. But they are on screens for sometimes 8 to 9 hours in a day. Oh, because it's weekend, because we're meant to be chilling. Isn't there anything? What happened to our outdoor games? Do we think those outdoor games that we're playing were just for a waste? No, they were not. So we've gone far from what it is that we're actually meant to be teaching our children. And then we sat on this high horse and we're saying, yes, I'm your mother, I'm your father, I'm your everything. And so you must listen to me. Well, my dear, are you coming with content or you're coming empty? Are you coming with content or you're coming with how you were parented? And you say, yes, you're still sitting on it. So it's the arrogance for me. It's the arrogance of you're not. See, when last after leaving secondary school, even parenting, you're giving birth to your children, the most important job you would ever do. Yet, you didn't even take a book to read about this thing. You haven't taken a book. You haven't done any course to read about it. Yet you couldn't become the banker that you are, the successful CEO that you are, without going through, a coach. And how many of us didn't have business coaches? We're running successful businesses online and offline. How many of us didn't have business coaches? Some of them, even if we didn't have business coaches, there were some people we studied. We studied our parents or we studied people online. There was some form of studying. There's some form of learning. There is nothing you do that, you just leave to chance and it becomes successful. And that includes our parenting. Why are we leaving our parenting to chance? And we say we want to be successful at parenting. And I go and I see honestly, for me, it's the arrogance in parents. How can you teach me parenting? Oh, no, it's a child's fault. Oh, who sent her to do this? Who sent him to do that? And I'm like, can you calm down and take responsibility? Can you sit and ask yourself, at least when nobody is there, when we are all there, you can, form the odogu that you are. But when no one is there, can you sit down and actually think about this process and tell yourself, where could I have gone wrong? Where could I have gone wrong? And that humility sometimes is what God needs for him to be able to help you to your next level, especially when it comes to your parenting. And funny thing is that we think this thing is about parenting. Trust me, when you start to become a better parent, you will see that it cuts across all aspects of your life. Because one thing I have learned in this journey of life is that the way you do one thing is the way you do everything. And so we think, do I have to? My child will be okay. It's when if God, it's only by the grace of God. It's only by the grace of God. In addition to, God's grace and God's mercy comes about those who actually give Him something to be merciful about. Can you see? His mercy comes to those who are actually deserving of His mercy, and is that not how we enter Jannah? We say, okay, we'll enter Jannah only by the mercy of Allah. But haven't we heard that we're actually supposed to do something that will earn us the mercy of Allah? And so we go about saying, no, our children will be whatever. It's only by God's grace. Can you give something? Can you present something so that Allah will even bless it? Or we're just there being so haughty and being so, yeah, you will do all you can. These children, they will end up becoming what it is. It's only God. It's only God. But what have you done? You're working with old knowledge. You're working with things that, yes, you have knowledge. Well done. But most times it's old knowledge, it's outdated knowledge. We're in the 21st century. Can we come down from our high horse? Isn't that reason enough for us to say, okay, let me submit to someone. Let me learn something. So I ask you again, are you teaching your child respect, yet you're being disrespectful to your child? You want your child to be kind. Yes, all you say to your child is harsh words. You want your child to be they say emotional intelligence is the latest, that's the skill you need to survive. EQ, we've gone beyond IQ. I'm sure you know that. It's not about IQ anymore. Yes, we need a brilliant child. We need a child that will get A+, here and there. But for a child to be successful and to be able to stand on his 2 feet and navigate challenges. Because can you see where our first class students, all of those ones that had first class in our set, in our time, where are they? But once you can build your emotional intelligence, there is no challenge you cannot maneuver. And so we're hearing EQ and everybody, there's EQ, emotional intelligence, and everybody is chasing emotional intelligence as if it's a fowl that you want to catch. My dear, emotional intelligence, one of the first ways for your children to learn emotional intelligence is by you modeling it. Yet, a driver cuts you and you're like, banker, shege, you're insulting here and there. Your house help does something. You're like, you would never account to to anything. And your children are hearing you. Can you see the disconnect? Can you see where the problem is? So we can't. We have to come and see, whenever it is you're in a course with me, I tell you that it is about you. This whole journey of raising our boys, raising responsible boys, raising boys that won't have to start following them every day, take 10,000. Okay, even if you don't give them, we give their wives. And take 10,000. Just you know your husband. You know this, you know that. Just take 10,000 to keep you quiet. Just take this, just take that, and we just keep throwing when we did not do the work when we're supposed to do it. Is that what you want to end up as? Is that the best that you want to be able to give your family? Is that what you want your legacy to be? And so you want your son to keep good company. You want him to have good friends. Yet you seize his phone and say, you don't follow the crowd. You're not going to have a phone. Is that how to go about it? Is that the best way to go about it? I want you to keep good company. Yet you don't want him to make you. Have you sat him down to say, this is how to make friends? Have you sat him down? Have you created a system for making friends? He's going into a new class. Now he's in a new class. He's going to meet with new people. Have you told him that these are the kind of people you should make your friends? And these are the kind of people you shouldn't make your friends? But we jump like 10 steps, and then we go saying all sorts. We go blaming these children when there's a little problem. But why did we have to wait for a problem for us to do the work? It is in the small things. It is in the droplets every day. You see this thing that says tiny droplets make an ocean. Drop by drop, an ocean is formed. It couldn't be truer for parenting. Parenting is not overnight. Yes, something now falls on you and there's a problem, and then you run and you go and meet your imam, and you're sleeping in your imam's house, and you take your daughter for deliverance. You take her on top of the mountain. Or where is it that all of you go? And I'm wondering. And then by then, when they telling you to come for a 10,000 naira course, hey, it's too expensive. Yet then, When they tell you to bring 1 million naira because they need to keep your child in a drug rehabilitation center, my dear, 1 million naira, you don't even know where it will come out from, but it will come out. So why are we, isn't it wise? Isn't it normal? Isn't that what anyone who understands life, isn't that what the person should do? Start paying the price. Droplets, droplets. It's like you're dropping it in the savings. Droplet, droplet. And that day, if something happens, you have saved for the rainy day. But for parenting, even though we say that you don't see the results now, my dear, you still see the results now. You see the results, and you don't have to wait for too long. You see your child becoming a lot more independent, a lot more confident, a lot more ready to take on the world. Can you see? And so, how are we teaching the things we want these children to learn? How are we teaching them the way what we want them to learn? So another example is, your children, your son forgot his homework he at home, and then you go, you're very responsible. You insult him, you give him the insult of his life. Then you go home, you take the homework and take it back to him. Next time, if you if you misplace your homework, I will deal with you. What are you teaching him? You're teaching him that consequences, right? Just dodge it. Because the real consequence was you allowing him to face it with the teacher. Whatever the teacher says, he brought it upon himself. But you're like, oh no, let me cover your shame, let me cover your shame, let me cover your shame. But you're not supposed to walk his shame for him now. It's his name, it's his father's name. Let him bear it. Oh, let him bear it. Let him bear it. Not even the father is supposed to walk that shame for him. No. No. Let him bear it. Let him bear it, and then he will take from it. That's consequence. Those are natural consequences that you're allowing your son to face. But we keep trying to shield them. We shield them here. We shield them there. We don't want to, our good name. Our good name. So when something even happens, you're not even sad for your child. It's what people will say about you. That's what's hurting you. That's what's getting you aggravated. What would they say about me? You can imagine, you embarrassed me and my entire ancestry. You embarrassed us. You're doing this outside. Oh, is it better he does it inside? So children have learned. Maybe you want me to be good outside. They're like, namaste. Very good. We are this. We are lovely. We do everything that our parents want us to do. But what's happening behind? Do you want to know? Do you really want to know? And so this is my call to you. You want your child to have good friends, yet you're not teaching him. So he starts to hide his friends from you. And he's saying, no, I don't have any friend though. No, how do you solve a problem you don't know about? How do you solve a problem you do not know about? And that's why a lot of times, honestly, I'm dealing with very funny situations these days. And a lot of times they call parents, invite parents to school, and then they say, your child is, no, not my child. No, that can't be my child. It must be the school. It must be the environment. It must be the society. It must be the keke man. It must be the gate man. It must be everybody but yourself. It must be everybody but yourself. So what are we talking about? You can't even take responsibility. You keep running away from taking responsibility for where your child is per time. And you're wondering, you're not present. And I know we're all busy. What can we make? I'm not asking for too much. I'm asking 10 minutes a day. Teach this child something. 10 minutes a day. Spend time with this child. 10 minutes a day. Even if it's your own difficult day, share it with this child. But by all means, let this child know about you. Let them have a connection with you. But you leave them for the screens, for their teachers, for their best friends, for all of the people, all of those those anonymous friends on Roblox. Those are the people they start to gist with, because they can't even have a conversation with you. So when we use shame-based discipline, which is don't do it, stop that, don't you know the child of who it is that you are? When we use that, we're not creating internal motivation. We're not allowing these children to see why they need to do what it is that you're asking them. And you're not telling them that it is for their own good. You're just creating boys who have become people pleasers or who become rebels. See, every people pleaser suffered from trauma in his childhood. Every people pleaser today was suffered from trauma, is suffering from trauma, something that happened in his childhood. Every rebel today, we thought, this child misbehaves. Every misbehavior from a child is a cry for help. Every misbehavior from a child is a cry for help. There's something that is missing. There's something that is broken. There's something that child is calling you to pay attention to. But no, instead of doing, you keep blaming, heaping blame, heaping. And where has it gotten you? So what it does is you end up creating a child who is compliant, but not a child who understands, not a child you can influence, not a child who understands the rules, who understands the things, who understands that actions have consequences, who understands that all this you're doing is for the child's benefit. No, he just wants to do it, and when you're gone, he does something else. That was who you raised. That is who you raised. So don't go blaming every other person. When they call you in school that this is what your child did, own it. Go there, accept it. Ask yourself, where did I go wrong? Then go ahead and find solutions and start to teach your child. And it's not this simple. Trust me, you need someone to hold your hands. And that's what we're here for. Because you've been able to, I had to do a lot of work on myself for me to see my children naturally just talk to them without necessarily blaming them. It is you. We always, the blame game. You did this, you. You forget that you're the adult, right? You forget that you're the adult. So boys don't learn values from lectures that come with anger. They learn it through modeling. They see those values being, you're literally a walking value. You're a breathing value. You're breathing honesty. You're breathing consistency. You're breathing hard work. And you think your son will not become. Your son will become because he's seeing you become. But when we discipline boys with respect and understanding, we're teaching them to treat others too with respect and understanding. But what we're doing is that we're accidentally teaching them the same things that we don't want them to become. And that's why we're teaching kindness with harshness. We're teaching emotional regulation with emotional dysregulation. Can you see? So, on this note, I'm also calling you once again. Whenever it gets the time to call you, I just become weak because I'm like, what else do you want me to tell you? Get into this workshop. Get in here. Get in here. Your becoming is here. Right here. Your child's becoming is here. Come and learn the new ways of parenting the 21st century child. Are you not tired of the packaging? Are you too tired of packaging without content? It's not by the expensive clothes you wear. No, it's not by that. You have peace in your home. Or you act like everything is okay, but you're tossing and turning at night. On that note, I leave you today and I ask you to join us tomorrow for another episode of your 10-day series. We're getting to the end and I can't wait. I am excited for those who will be joining us on Friday and Saturday. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be beautiful. This is where you're going to learn how to start to do things differently, how to take responsibility, first of all, by seeing how the role your childhood played in all of this. But that doesn't mean you go hating your parents. No, they did their absolute best with all they knew. But what are you doing now? The baton is on you. The baton is in your hands. What are you going to do with it? Are you going to fling it, or you're going to hold it with treasure as a treasure and do the best with it? Learn what you have to learn. Unlearn the baggage, drop the baggage, fling the baggage, and start to see yourself and your children thrive. It's like come your way again tomorrow with another interesting topic. Bye for now. Thank you.